Well, this is one of those classic areas that you often get around houses. It's a triangular shaped deck off the kitchen. And as you might expect, next to the kitchen they've tried to grow a few plants and that, a few little herbs for the kitchen garden. Most of them are half dead because the north's out there and they've just cooked. Even those camellias look dreadful. And we're up a fair distance here. Whenever you water the plants here, it goes through the decking, and whoever the poor devils are who are sitting below, they're going to get drowned. Now the colours are all wrong. The brown decking doesn't go with the rest of the house. The white furniture doesn't work. Look, there's a lot here to fix, but it can be fixed really easily, and this can make a fabulous little kitchen garden. Removing the lattice turned out to be fairly straightforward, just a matter of using one of those little handles and a hacksaw blade, cutting through the nails that hold the panels and removing them. Then just a bit of repair to the basic fence structure that held it, that is, a bit of sanding and a little bit of painting so that it looked okay. Then we drilled 7 parallel holes to put the stainless steel wire that we're going to put through it. They had to be exactly horizontal, so we used a spirit level. And then after we got all the holes, we threaded through the stainless steel wire. Now, when you look from here, you see down through that and into the garden. This really has just made it so much better. And as you're looking, you've probably already noticed under my feet, we've painted the deck. Remember, it was that sort of muddy, awful brown. It's now a grey. Now, look, we had a bit of a guess. We're trying to match the carpet that you can hardly see there because of the towel. That's just because we're a bit dirty. But we had to match that also to the kitchen floor. This colour's a bit light. So for coat 2, we will definitely put a little bit more black colouring in there to darken it. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm holding the Burke's Backyard chili. Well, we've assembled these pots on the wall. Now, to mount these, they're just in a ring, metal ring, as you can see there. We just drilled holes, fitted the rings on the wall. Now, if you're wondering what this is one of those automatic hydroponic systems that's been put in here. Every pot has its own line. Now, it's got one of these new smart valve systems in the bottom of it, so that each pot will be watered automatically, forever, on demand, which is the most wonderful thing. I've got to be honest and say, people that have ratty little pots around the place for their kitchen garden out on a balcony are kidding themselves. The plants don't do any good, they basically just die. In a system like this, not only will the pots or the plants grow really well, but they grow far bigger and better than you could ever grow them in a normal container, because the hydroponic system gives them perfect nutrition and perfect watering. So the lower layer here are some of the Burke's Backyard chilies. We asked the people here what sort of things they eat, and that's what they said they loved. So believe it or not, this is the world's first functional kitchen garden that you can put in small containers out on a balcony like this. Now, although this is a hydroponic system with the smart valves and everything else, and therefore there is fertiliser in the automatic watering that comes, we've reduced the amount of fertiliser that goes to these pots, and I'll explain that a little bit later in the show, but what we're doing is just supplementing the automatic fertilising a little bit with a slow-release product. This is the furniture from the balcony. You'll notice it's white. White can work sometimes, but sometimes also can look rather terrible. We're just going to spray it black. We're just going to see, it's only tiny furniture, only 3 pieces. We're going to see how far some of these cans of spray black will go. We've cleaned it, sanded it back, and, well, nothing else for it now, but we're just doing the bottoms first so we can turn it upside down and do the rest. Now, this is really interesting. 1 can has nearly done the undersides of everything, so I presume 3 or maybe 4 cans would do, probably 3 cans would do the full coat for these. 2 coats would take 6 cans. I reckon that's a reasonable buy to do this, because brushing this on, firstly, it'll probably come off, and secondly, leave those awful little brush marks all over it. Oh, this is a very satisfying job, this one. Look, little splash of colour with some pillows. These were just lying around the house, by the way. Now, what do you think? This was that ugly white aluminum furniture, and it's come up $1 million. It looks so good. We've gone to a darker grey on the deck. We repainted. The first coat was not dark enough. You noticed it too much. Notice how well it works with that sort of bluey green of the woodwork here. Golly, this is good. You all really should think about this sort of stuff, the stainless steel wire, which you can buy at sort of marine places, yachting places. It's used on yachts and so on, but very simple to thread through like that, and you see through it, it's safe. It really is wonderful. 2 lily pillies. These are Acmina smithii. This is one of the lily pillies that doesn't get all that dreadful dimpling and all those other problems. One here in one of these auto pot systems. They're wonderful. It's all automatic. I love plants. If you've been a gardener most of your life like me, to have someone else doing the work for you is fantastic, and when it's a machine it's even better. Another one here. Lily pillies, they take the shade, they'll take it when it's sunny during the day, and that's all. We've got far more space here than we ever had. No clutter, and a sensational herb garden over here, which will honestly give you most of the stuff you need for the family. These are basil, by the way. These will grow quite big. This will be gorgeous, all automatic. Now, really, you should think about systems like this. This is the autopot system. Each one of those has its own little mechanism in the bottom, so it gets exactly what it wants and no more. And round the back of the house, on little plinth, we've got the whole system that drives it. And this was a very cheap makeover. So think about this. If you've got one of these dreadful areas like this on a deck, look at it. Spacious now. And you can sit here and watch the world go by and listen to the aeroplanes. Don't you love the noise of the city? What did Neil Diamond say? What a beautiful noise. Coming up after the break, how to make a teddy bear, or indeed the Titanic, out of plants. And also we're going to road test Scottish Terriers. Do you like Scottish Terriers?
It's a beautiful noise going on everywhere.
Don't spray herbs with insecticides or fungicides. Their aromatic oils usually keep pests at bay. So if you find a snail on your parsley, remove it by hand.
It's a beautiful noise.